Title: The Mechanized Gambit, a humanoid robotics startup's Madripoor adventure prologue. The vision. SkyTech Robotics, a humanoid robotics startup, was scaling rapidly. Their flagship product, SkyBot-21, a humanoid assistant, had received overwhelming demand. To meet production needs, SkyTech decided to acquire a fully operational factory, focusing on Madripoor, a bustling global tech hub known for its advanced robotics industry. Their target: a state-of-the-art robotics facility at 1010 Servo Blvd, offering an irresistible opportunity. However, the acquisition wasn't going to be straightforward. Hidden beneath Madripoor's glitzy surface lay layers of corporate intrigue, and SkyTech would soon find itself entangled in a web of deception. Act 1, the factory's allure. The factory boasted compelling metrics: net operating income, NOI, $2,582,885. Computed as effective gross income, IG, minus operating expenses, $3,689,835 minus $1,106,950. Capitalization rate, cap rate, 10%. Computed as NOI divided by purchase price. With NOI at $2,582,885 and a purchase price of $25,828,850, it was attractive for investors. Debt service coverage ratio, DSCR, 1.40. Computed as NOI divided by annual debt service. SkyTech saw this as a healthy margin of safety. Occupancy rate, 100%, and tenant credit quality, A, ensuring steady rental income. The factory's lease expiration schedule of 10 years provided stability, while the power broker's score, 5 stars, indicated a stellar industry reputation. Act 2, the deal. SkyTech, led by CEO Evelyn Clark and CFO Malik Wong, flew to Madripoor to finalize negotiations. However, during the property inspection, Malik noticed inconsistencies in the reported market rent, $48.58 per square feet, compared to in-place rent, $48.25 per square feet. Though the variance seemed minor, Malik suspected there was more to uncover. To ensure transparency, SkyTech computed the operating expense ratio, OR, 30%. Formula: operating expenses divided by effective gross income, $1,106,950 divided by $3,689,835. The ratio was well below the industry average of 40%, further bolstering the property's value. The deal seemed flawless, but Evelyn insisted on evaluating the loan-to-value ratio, LTV, 70%, and internal rate of return, IRR, 12%, to ensure long-term profitability. Act 3, the plot thickens. The day before signing, Evelyn received an anonymous email warning her to recheck the property condition assessment. While the report claimed excellent, the sender alleged that the factory's replacement cost, $12,500,000, was understated due to hidden structural issues. Evelyn and Malik hired an independent inspector, who revealed a startling discovery: the factory's power grid infrastructure was severely outdated. Upgrading the system would cost at least $2 million, potentially reducing the net present value, NPV, of $2,750,000. Realizing they needed leverage, Evelyn recalculated their cash-on-cash return, 9.5%. Formula: annual pre-tax cash flow divided by total cash invested. The grid issue meant higher investment, lowering returns. Act 4, counter moves. Armed with new data, Evelyn renegotiated. The seller attempted to dismiss the grid concerns, but Evelyn countered with market research showing a market vacancy rate, 4%, indicating other options. Malik suggested using the revised cap rate to adjust the purchase price. New purchase price equals NOI divided by cap rate equals $2,582,885 divided by 10% equals $25,828,850, minus $2 million for repairs. The seller reluctantly agreed, lowering the price to $23,828,850. Act 5, the twist. Just as SkyTech celebrated, Madripoor's regulatory body flagged the factory's lease expiration schedule, 10 years, for a tenant engaged in illegal robotics exports. If exposed, the occupancy rate, 100%, would drop, jeopardizing SkyTech's plans. Evelyn had two choices: proceed and absorb the risk, pivot and invest in another factory. Evelyn took a bold stance, deciding to terminate the deal. Instead, she negotiated a lease with Madripoor's tech zone, securing a smaller but high-tech facility nearby. The move increased their IRR, 14%, and ensured future scalability. Epilogue: victory and resilience. SkyTech emerged stronger, using the ordeal as a lesson in due diligence. They implemented KPIs into every decision: net operating income, NOI, to assess property profitability; cap rate, to evaluate investment value. DSCR, to ensure financial stability. Cash-on-cash return, for clear investor communication. Market vacancy rate, to gauge alternatives. Their eventual acquisition fueled SkyTech 21 production, solidifying SkyTech's global dominance. Key takeaway: data-driven decisions, even in the face of uncertainty, lead to long-term success. Page 2. The Mechanized Gambit, a humanoid robotics startup's Madripoor adventure. Prologue, a vision for the future. SkyTech Robotics was no ordinary startup. Specializing in humanoid robotics, their flagship creation, SkyTech 21, had revolutionized personal and professional assistance worldwide. But the rapid demand for their bots had outgrown their production capacity. Enter Madripoor, a high-tech urban marvel. With its advanced robotics ecosystem and strategic location, Madripoor seemed the perfect base for scaling operations. At its heart was a prime asset, the state-of-the-art factory at 1010 Servo Blvd. The property's key metrics were a siren call, net operating income, NOI, $2,582,885, capitalization rate, cap rate, 10% debt service coverage ratio, DSCR, 1.40, occupancy rate, 100% tenant credit quality, A. It was too good to pass up. Or so it seemed. Act 1, the magnetism of metrics. SkyTech's CEO, Evelyn Clark, and CFO, Malik Wong, led the negotiations. Together, they marveled at the factory's appeal, effective gross income, $3,689,835, operating expense ratio, OR, 30%, below the industry average of 40%. Cash-on-cash return, 9.5%. Computed as, annual pre-tax cash flow 8 tilde . Total cash invested /text annual pre-tax cash flow, /diff /text total cash invested, internal rate of return, IRR, 12%, showing solid investment performance. As Malik worked the numbers, Evelyn envisioned SkyTech 21's rolling off the line in droves. The factory's lease expiration schedule, 10 years, promised stability, while its tenant credit quality, suggested low risk. Still, Evelyn had learned the hard way that a dream deal could quickly turn into a nightmare. Act 2, financing the dream. Evelyn and Malik weighed their financing options. Debt financing. Construction loan, discarded, as the factory was ready to go. Permanent loan, a viable option, with a 70% loan-to-value, LTV, ratio. Equity financing. Investor contributions. SkyTech's angel investors were willing but preferred equity stakes. Joint ventures. Evelyn had offers but wanted full control. SkyTech ultimately secured a permanent loan, leaving 30% of the purchase price to be covered through equity. The loan's terms aligned with the factory's DSCR, 1.40, ensuring a buffer against debt repayment challenges. Act 3, the shadows of Madripoor. As due diligence began, SkyTech followed a meticulous underwriting process, site analysis, verified the factory's location and property condition assessment rating of excellent. Environmental assessments, cleared Madripoor's stringent regulations. Market analysis, compared the factory's market rent, 48.58 per square feet, with its in-place rent, 48.25 per square feet. While the differences seemed minor, Malik flagged it as a possible red flag. He also evaluated Madripoor's market vacancy rate, 4%, confirming robust demand for industrial spaces. During financial analysis, Malik used pro forma modeling to simulate future income. The model confirmed the factory's potential to generate positive cash flow, even with rising labor costs. Act 4, a twist of the grid. Evelyn's optimism was shattered when an anonymous tip hinted at hidden risks. A fresh property inspection uncovered a neglected power grid infrastructure, incapable of handling SkyTech's needs. Repairing the grid would cost $2 million, which would slash the net present value, NPV. NPV equals present value EOFR cash inflows minus initial investment. The updated NPV dropped from $2,750,000 to $750,000, throwing the deal into question. Act 5, the counterplay. Evelyn's team acted swiftly, revised cap rate analysis. Factoring in grid repairs, Malik recalculated the cap rate. Cap rate equals NOI divided by adjusted purchase price. Lowering the purchase price to $23,828,850 restored the cap rate to 10%. Negotiation tactics. Evelyn leveraged Madripoor's market vacancy rate, 4%, to highlight the factory's uniqueness, pressuring the seller to accommodate repair costs. Act 6, a gambit unfolds as SkyTech prepared to close. Madripoor's tech regulator announced an investigation into the factory's tenant. Accusations of illegal robotics exports cast doubt over the factory's occupancy rate, 100%, and tenant reliability. Evelyn faced a crossroads: proceed with elevated risks, abandon the deal and seek alternatives. After sleepless nights, Evelyn chose resilience over risk. SkyTech pivoted, leasing a newer facility in Madripoor's tech zone. Though smaller, the space offered advanced features and scalability, boosting SkyTech's projected IRR, 14%. Epilogue, a victory in data. The Madripoor venture transformed SkyTech's approach to decision-making, loan-to-value, LTV, ratio, essential for gauging financial leverage. Debt service coverage ratio, DSCR, ensured debt obligations were manageable. Capitalization rate, cap rate, helped value properties accurately. Internal rate of return, IRR, quantified long-term investment performance. Through data-driven decisions, Evelyn secured SkyTech's future, proving that challenges are opportunities in disguise. Key takeaway, the integration of due diligence, financial analysis, and resilience ensured SkyTech's triumph, transforming the gambit into a masterstroke.